Buccaneers. We're in New York City and we're going to show you the fun things you can do here.
Now we are at Museum of Broadway.
This is an immersive experience that celebrates the history of Broadway.
We just watched a video on the history of Broadway. This section is on Showboat, and first of all, they did the visuals here great because it's just a bunch of papers. Like, I can see the script here, and that's the book that it was based off of. And Showboat is about a family performing on a Mississippi rowboat. This section has musicals from 1943 to 1957. This section is on West Side Story, and it's like a modern day Romeo and Juliet set in New York. Take a seat and snap a pic. Is this the yellow brick road?
Yeah. Yeah, yellow.
So it says that Annie's The Sun will come out tomorrow, help give Americans hope because of these problems in the 1970s. And I know what political scandals came from. Nixon. This section's on the Lion King musical, which we saw last month. Here's a set model for In the Heights, which is the last musical we saw before the pandemic. And it looks exactly as I remember. I remember Rosario car and limousine. Oh yeah, that's Usnavi there in the middle, right? These are two costumes from Hamilton, and I recognize this one. I remember in 8th grade in my history class, we dissected the rap lyrics of the two Hamilton rap battles. So this is a stage management schedule. On this week, they would work 13.5 hours, 6 days a week. So their hours are very, very long. This is the life cycle of a Broadway show. So first, they want to write a show, then they build a creative team, then they build it, and then it goes out of town, but then I guess they settle here. And then there's life beyond Broadway, which is how we were able to see so many Broadway shows away from New York. And that's the Museum of Broadway.
I really liked how they made mini sets of the different musicals, and overall this is a pretty good museum if you like Broadway.
I really enjoy this museum because there were a lot of musicals that I recognized, and the exhibits are very well done.
I like all musicals, but right now I really like School of Rock since I'm working on a production of it.
My favorite Broadway musical I've ever seen was The Lion King because I liked how they did puppetry with the animals. Now we are at the New York City Fire Museum.
This museum displays collections of fire-related artifacts from the late 18th century and on.
In this room, there are many vintage fire trucks. Here's a map of the different fire department zones of New York. So right now we're in Hudson Square. This is a hand pump fire truck, And it says that normally the firefighters could pump for 10 minutes at 60 strokes per minute before getting tired. We're in the 9/11 memorial. The firefighters were a very important part of that day. Here they commemorate all the fallen firefighters. This bench is from St. Paul's Chapel, which was across from the site. So all the markings on the bench are from the equipment that the firefighters used. In this room, there's a lot of memorabilia related to firefighting.
This is the larger-than-life collection, so those two axes are usually carried in parades, and that huge hat is a weather vane.
This section's on the Great Fire of 1776. Wait, isn't that the year? That's the year the Declaration was signed. Here's the path of the fire. So it started here, and then it went to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it went north, right? Dang, it looks so different.
At a fort at the southern tip of the island.
It's a colonial town. It's not crazy skyscrapers that we have now. So a brief history from the video and this is that when the Dutch settled, they named New York New Amsterdam. And then they built this wall because England declared war on them, so they wanted to protect themselves. And the wall ran along Wall Street, which is why it's called Wall Street. And then eventually the Dutch lost and New Amsterdam got renamed to New York. And that's the New York City Fire Museum.
My favorite part was the 9/11 exhibit because it showed a lot of what the firefighters did during 9/11.
I like how they have a lot of cool fire engines on display, and they look way cooler than the fire trucks we have now. Our next stop is New York Historical Society.
Founded in 1804, this is New York's first museum.
The first exhibit we're checking out is What is Women's Work? This exhibit is on Tiffany lamps, and they're made by Tiffany Studios, which specializes in blown glass. And these were sold to upper and middle class customers. These panels with Jesus were the windows of Tiffany Studios.
Now I'm going to design a lamp.
So first, brother chooses a color he wants by turning the wheel, and then to select the one he wants to fill in, he just presses this.
Look at that huge Abraham.
Here they have a dedication memorial for 9/11. This is a replica of the Oval Office.
George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, George W. Bush, Barack Obama.
This exhibit is called Hudson River School by Kay Walking Stick, and it mixes abstract with nature. This is a curtain Picasso made in 1919, and it depicts a bullfight. These are terms that popped up in the 20th century. So like Tex-Mex wasn't a slang till 1949, or nightclub wasn't a slang till 1929. New Amsterdam looks cool because there's a canal running right through the middle. I wish New York still had that. And that's the New York Historical Society.
My favorite part was the gallery of Tiffany lamps. I'm surprised that one company can make so many lamps.
I liked seeing the artwork by Kay Walking Stick, and it showed a lot of local stuff. And like Brother said, I also enjoyed Tiffany Lamps. This museum has so many different galleries with different stuff, so I recommend you come here because there's going to be something that interests you. It's time to check out SPYSCAPE.
This is a 16,000 square foot museum and experience that focuses on secrets.
Welcome to SPYSCAPE.
These cameras show that all the technology now are gathering your data. We're in the surveillance section, so I'm going to click yes, let's start. This is about Enigma during World War II, which is basically how each side tried to get their messages across without their enemies intercepting the message. I feel like I'm in math class.
It's like a logic puzzle.
2, right?
I got number 3. It was very tricky, but I actually got it.
Okay, here's another game.
Welcome to Deception.
Oh, this is creepy.
Place your finger on the sensor in front of you and look at the center of the screen.
Now it's time for the surveillance test. So this game is called Surveillance, and you have to look at the different zones of cameras to see what's going on. They'll ask you questions, and you have to answer in the microphone. For example, they will ask you, like, which camera has a trampoline? So you have to look around. So in this case, it would be camera 9.
These are hidden gadgets, so like this pencil and pen is actually a hidden dagger.
Now we're gonna play spy games. Unfortunately, filming is not allowed here, so we're gonna come back after we play the games with our final thought.
And that is SPYSCAPE.
I really like all the different types of spy stuff that they have here, like games and activities. Especially the surveillance challenge, that was super fun.
So if you come here, there's 2 things you can do, the HQ and the spy games. The spy games we couldn't show you, but basically there's 10 rooms, and in each room you can complete a series of challenges. It might be dodging the lasers or trying to throw balls to hit the targets, and it was really fun. And also in HQ, there was a nice mixture of history where they talked about how spying skills were used in wars like World War II. And then there was also a whole thing with the wristband where you could complete quests to determine what kind of spy you were.
See you in the next video. Bye!